Introducing our group, we have Victoria Nelson, Amy Stauffenecker, and Jill Mueller, and together we are Collective Interiors. And with that, we'd like to introduce you to our project, the Etta, which is the name of our student housing, which will be located in downtown Fargo. The Etta name was actually inspired by the building in which it'll be housed in, known as the Loretta Building. We wanted the name of our student housing to reflect an historical element given the building's location and its history. Maintaining the Etta name from the Loretta contributes to maintaining the building's historical integrity.
For our site location, we located the Etta directly where the Loretta building is located today in downtown Fargo, North Dakota. We did this because of its close proximity to public transportation, NDSU's downtown campus, restaurants, and also Broadway Square. For our site photos, you'll notice in the upper left-hand corner a large staircase. This is actually where our team took our group photo. On the right side of that image, you'll notice the natural blonde brick that we kept throughout a lot of our project. On the right side, you'll see that is the offices that are in the Loretta building today on the 3rd floor. The bottom photos are pictures of the exterior, with the one on the left being what it looks like today and the center one what it looked like in the 70s.
The main topics we chose to focus on were education and economic policy. We wanted our students to be successful not only academically, but mentally and socially as well. Through our information gathering, we found that experts agreed that there was a mental health crisis on campus, and about 25% of college students were dealing with anxiety or depression. Our additional research showed that biophilic design is a great way to combat feelings of anxiety and depression, and that those that felt like they were part of a community had higher levels of overall happiness. Our second topic focused on sustainability. We chose the Loretta building because we could easily convert this building into student housing without tearing down a building somewhere else or building a brand new one. This keeps massive amounts of construction waste out of landfills and retains the architectural history of our downtown. For the new materials we did bring in, we wanted to make sure that those were sustainable and contributed to good indoor air quality. We were able to collect our own data before designing the Etta. One of the areas we researched was mental health and found that there really is a mental health crisis on our campus. 49% of our respondents reported feeling anxious and 34% were depressed. We also found that students think outdoor space is the most important. Because biophilic design mimics nature in the outdoors, we weren't surprised by that result. And all of this aligned with our previous information gathering and really made us realize just how important biophilic design would be in our project. For students who might not know what biophilic design was, we showed them the photo on the left, which is filled with natural light, plants, natural materials, and colors found in nature. We then compared it to what most students are used to getting, some drywall, artificial lights, and only some natural materials shown in the table and the door. Many students believe that biophilic design not only contributes positively to their mood, but they also just like seeing it and think it's important. After all of this, we were able to pull some inspiration where we saw biophilic design being used effectively to show what we thought the Etta could look like.
This is our first concept board, which primarily reflects the common areas we strive to design throughout the Etta. Within our common areas, we'll have areas that promote socialization, that promote a sense of community, as well as areas for independent study that promote overall academic success. As mentioned before, we will be implementing sustainable and biophilic design throughout. Continuing with our concept boards, these photos are good inspiration on how we chose to implement biophilic design throughout the Etta. We've designed using an abundance of natural light, a variety of greeneries, we've implemented textures and patterns that reflect nature, and have incorporated a real earthy and organic color palette seen on the left. As well as implementing biophilic design, we will be encouraging sustainable design. As mentioned before, we are heavily focusing on building reuse. We've maintained about 90% of the original hardwood floorings found in Loretta, as well as the original blonde brick. We also have a ton of the exposed natural ceilings throughout our common areas. As far as new construction goes, we'll be implementing sustainable fixtures and equipment, as well as a few new sustainable materials such as cork and terrazzo. Getting into the floor plan of the Etta, it's important to know that the Etta resides only on the second, third, and fourth floor of the Loretta building. In order for tenants to access the building, they will need to use the first floor, which we are looking at now. There will be two main entrances, one off the east side off of Broadway North and one off the west side off of Roberts Alley. Tenants will use the white area we see in the middle, which will be primarily used as circulation to access the floors above. They can use the two main stairwells or the centralized elevator. To implement an extra layer of security, we've provided key fob access for tenants and employees of the Etta to gain access to the building, as well as to access the elevator to take them to the floors above. Arriving to the second floor of the Etta, this is primarily the first floor. Tenants will be greeted with our grand open space planned lobby, as well as our information bar, also known as an informal reception area. Off of our lobby, we have management, trash and recycling, mailroom and packaging, and our business center. This floor also houses a number of one-bedroom units, one of which is accessible, as well as a theater and lounge, public restrooms, and 5 different collab rooms. This is our lobby information bar, also known as our informal reception area. Due to our low number of tenants, we will not be having a fully staffed reception area, but instead what we are calling the lobby information bar. From our research, we've concluded that students are interested in living a sustainable life, but don't always know how. We've also concluded that students are interested in being more involved, but also don't know how or don't know what events are going on throughout their community or throughout their residence. So through the information bar, we will be offering a variety of resources that implement resources for student health, as well as actions students can take towards sustainable events and events going on in the community and throughout the Etta. Adjacent to our information bar, we have our lobby workstations. As you can see, we've implemented biophilic design through the use of the green wall behind the information bar and through our live green planners behind the lobby workstations. The lobby workstations act as just one place that offer tenants to sit down and work independently outside of their typical units. Adjacent to our information bar and our lobby workstations, we have our lobby lounge. Right outside of the view, we have our atrium, which penetrates the second, third, and fourth floor of the Etta, flooding the centralized area of our plans with natural light. In this view, you can see the exposed wood ceilings as well as the natural wood flooring. Because of this, we took extra acoustical consideration by using the echo pendant light as well as our suspended Phil's felt panels in the center, made of acoustical felt to help combat the acoustics within this area. It was important to us to design this area as open as possible while still creating more intimate social seatings within. These are our lobby conversation combs, which act as just one other place throughout the Etta that tenants have the option to work outside of their typical units. This view is a great example of how we used organic shapes and architecture throughout the plan. Organic shapes are seen through the arches of the seating as well as the organic shapes within the pendant lighting. We've also used fractals seen in our wallpaper that represent natural elements of nature.
For our mailroom, you'll notice that each unit has its own mailbox. On the left side of this photo, you'll see that there is a door which leads into our package room. This package room is key fob access only to ensure that all packages are securely locked away. On the right side is a corkboard. This is a great place for staff to hang up educational flyers on mental health and sustainability. Students can also hang their own events or activities on this board as they please. For our collab room corridor, you'll notice on the far left side that there is a very large green wall and also a water feature at the base of that green wall. We did this to incorporate biophilia, which helps reduce stress and improves mental health. This is very important to us considering that this is outside of our collab rooms where a lot of students will be spending time and studying. For collab room number 1, this is the largest of all of our collab rooms. This room features 3 large windows, which brings in a ton of natural light. It also has a variety of different seating arrangements for all students' taste. It also has upholstered wall panels on the far back wall to help with acoustics, but also ensure comfort for students sitting at the bench. For collab room number 2, you'll notice a unique furniture arrangement compared to the other collab rooms that you'll see coming up. This one has a conference room type table, task chairs, and also a really fun green inspired wall covering, which again brings in that biophilia aspect of our project. For all of our collab rooms, you'll notice that they all have a glass sliding door and also glass walls. We did this for the great view of the green wall, but also to help students know if the room is occupied without interrupting whoever is in the collab rooms. For collab room number 4, you'll notice on the left wall that there is a very fun wall covering that is inspired by water. This again is bringing in that nature aspect of our project. On the right side is a cork wall covering, which helps with the acoustics of the space. You'll also see that we've used acoustical ceiling tile throughout all of the collab rooms to ensure that the rooms are acoustically adequate. For collab room number 5, you'll notice that we've incorporated transom windows throughout all of the collab rooms. We did this to bring in as much natural light as possible, but also make the room feel a little less boxy and more open.
As we head up to the 3rd floor, we get a great view of the atrium in the center. This level also has the fitness center, clubhouse, outdoor patio, and some restrooms, so you don't have to go up and down the elevator to get to your unit if you're having some friends over. This level also has some of our 1-bedrooms, 1-bedroom dens, and our only studio. The atrium is a really great bonus to the Etta. Most older buildings lose out on natural sunlight as you move towards the center, but with the Skylight Edition, we're able to provide more enjoyable hangout spots for the tenants. You might also recognize that this layout mimics a typical dorm building layout. Our research showed users are more likely to get to know each other with a layout like this, where neighbors can hang outside their unit around a central core than the typical long hallway. We also made sure to incorporate plants for biophilic design and used flexible seating to allow the users to reposition and arrange their furniture how they want. This also gives them greater control over their environments, which helps to create a better sense of place. Our clubhouse is a great area for students to hang out and relax. It is a fully equipped kitchen and also ADA compliant. Our backsplash brings in some biophilia, and the terrazzo counters complement the overall color scheme. This is a space that can be used for teaching tenants how to cook healthy meals or just for students to hang out and invite their friends over for a meal. The ranges throughout the Etta are from controlled and induction to reduce burns from reaching over a gas or electric burner, but it's also for eliminating indoor air pollution from a gas range. We wanted everyone to feel welcome in this space, so we created a roll-under spot for those in wheelchairs or maybe to tuck a stroller under. You'll notice the seating is non-upholstered, so you don't have to feel bad about spilling food on it and you can just wipe it off. Behind our kitchen is the lounge. Students can use this space to be loud without bothering their neighbors. We have a built-in on the wall that has a fireplace to make our winters seem a little bit shorter, a TV to watch maybe an NDSU game, and a bookcase where students can share books with each other. The seating in here was meant to encourage interaction. The sofa really shows the different directions a tenant can interact with each other. They could sit forwards, backwards, sideways, whichever way they want. The chairs are swivel so they can talk to someone in the kitchen or at the tables behind them, and we made sure to include a variety of seating heights. The clubhouse patio is one of 2 of our outdoor common spaces. Because this is by the clubhouse and on the Roberts Alley side with less car traffic, we thought students would really enjoy having their lunch out here. The furniture is durable enough for our winters and easy enough to clean if someone spills. We added larger trees in this area and used a draining wood tile to eliminate some of the cold gray concrete. As fun as common areas are for tenants, people really need to have a place to retreat and spend time alone. We loved having the large windows in this project to let our tenants get the benefits of natural light while also reducing on the energy usage of our lighting. When we do get less lighting during winter months, we have both direct and indirect light in the black linear fixture to light up the warmer wood beams and make the temperature feel just a little bit warmer to our tenants. It's also a great usage for biophilic design. We do realize that not every student is going to go out and buy a plant for their unit, so we chose to incorporate the color green for some of the benefits. In the US, green makes people feel refreshed, safe, and relaxed, which are all great things for people who are dealing with anxiety and depression to be feeling. Some of our units are offered partially furnished, so if a tenant doesn't want the hassle of moving large pieces of furniture, we do provide the sofa, bed, dining chairs, and dining table. As we make our way back to the bedrooms, you'll see the sliding door on that bottom rendering. We chose to use sliding doors to maximize space, but also to eliminate obstacles in the main path of travel for those in wheelchairs. Our bedrooms are meant to allow the tenants to make it their own, and they shouldn't have to feel like they'll lose the whole deposit by putting a nail through a wall. So we came up with the solution of sliding cork doors. Tenants can use these to pin pictures of friends and family, hang a calendar, or even hang up their own artwork. We also give them a picture rail above the beds to easily hang artwork on a brick wall and reduce the amount of maintenance from filling those holes. The ceiling in here is drywall, which was selected for acoustical reasons, because no matter how many amenities or resources you give tenants, they won't be successful if they aren't able to get sleep. This is also why we selected cork for our sliding doors. Our bathrooms have a glass panel surround with a curbless roll-in shower. The glass panels eliminates grout lines where they're not needed, which helps improve indoor air quality, and our tile flooring provides slip resistance to prevent falls. All of our fixtures in here are WaterSense certified. From our research, we found that even though students care about sustainability, they don't usually follow through. So when someone is taking a super long shower or maybe leaving the water running when they're brushing their teeth, a little bit less water is wasted. The lighting in here is also sustainable by being Title 24 compliant. The last floor of the Etta has our 2-bedroom units and access to the outside on the Broadway side of the building. We chose the Etta building for student housing because it wasn't a massive building and we could only fit in so many units. This is because our research showed that students reported having higher levels of happiness when they lived in a building with fewer tenants, especially during the pandemic. The ceiling and windows on this level are different from the previous floors because this level was an addition. To control sunlight, we used roller shades throughout to give tenants control over their space and reduce glare. This unit also has its own private balcony and tenants can leave the door open during a nice fall day. You'll notice the same sofa from the previous unit. The furniture we use throughout the Etta is able to be swapped very easily between units to allow someone who may not want the partially furnished unit to be given someone else quickly and easily.
This is our 4th floor atrium. This atrium is the closest to the skylight, meaning it brings in the most natural light. This is a great place for students to lounge if they need, which is why we have a couple lounge chair arrangements, but also booth seating, which can be great for reading or just waiting for someone if they are in their room still. This is our community balcony. This is a great place for students to take a break from studying, read a book, or even get some fresh air. This is also right across from Broadway Square, meaning there's a lot of fun activities constantly going on, and students on this balcony would have a great view of that. That concludes the end of our tour. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to learn more about the Etta student housing.